It's Christmas week and our routines are being destroyed. We've got Monday Night Football tonight. Then we've got Christmas Eve on Wednesday, Christmas Day on Thursday. Everything's cattywampus. We complain for nothing. We're doing our very best, all right? We're going to talk today about the Indianapolis Colts and that game they've got tonight. But that's not all that's going on. We've got an IU game tonight at 6 o'clock on BTN. We've got the Pacers tonight at Boston, trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do with the rest of the season other than lose games to teams like the Pelicans. Tonight against the Celtics, we'll see what the Pacers do. Would they be better off just calling off the dogs and saying, you know what, the hell with it, we're going to coast the rest of the year? If we win another game, that'll be kind of nice, but let's not go out of our way to do it. I hate tanking. Pacers have never been a tanking organization. Without Tyrese Halliburton and him coming back next year, maybe it's time to start. We'll talk about that a little bit. This is Breakfast with Kent for Monday, December 22nd, 2025. Brought to you by the great people at Today's Dentistry. Dr. Mike O'Neill, the best dentist in the world, the only dentist I've gone to the last 30-plus years. That's how good he is. Give him a call. You got a hole in your mouth? He's got a hole in his schedule. 317-849-2933 is the number. Ask for Julie. Tell her that Kent told you to call. Become a member. Membership has its privileges. Had a great members-only coffee with Kent on Saturday morning. Just outstanding. You guys ask such good questions and make such good comments. I really enjoy it. So become a member today and support this channel. You can do it at either level, Breakfast Buddy or All Meal Deal. And you need to become a subscriber, because when you become a subscriber, you can win a prize. We're giving away this afternoon a Jeff Saturday autographed jersey. How about that? I don't know where we're going to do it from. It's either going to be from Bloomington or from Lucas Oil Stadium. There's a lot going on in both places. I may try to be both. I don't know whether to separate myself at the waist or do it vertically to allow me to be in both places at the same time. I hope I don't endeavor either of those. So become a subscriber. Becoming a subscriber makes you eligible to win, and becoming using the phrase that pays enters you to win. The phrase that pays is Uncle Phil. You got to get the best. Win, Uncle Phil. How about that? Win. We don't care that he plays. We don't care that he acquits himself with grace and dignity at the age of 44, having gotten off the couch after 5 years. We care that they win at this point. 8-6, nothing went right for the Colts. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yesterday was a terrible day for the Indianapolis Colts. Hit that like button, smash it, and if you want to make a comment, no big whoop, but please include a comment or a question that elevates the level of discourse on the station, on the channel. Randy Smith did exactly that. Poor JMU and Tulane, and DK should be suspended. I don't know what DK did, to tell you the truth, but JMU and Tulane, you get invited to a party out of pity. You know what? It's not going to go well for you. I learned that in high school. You know what? Let's have Kent come. No, I didn't. But when that kind of thing happens, that's what's going to happen. JMU and Tulane had no business playing in those games. Frankly, if you're really just trying to instead of just make money, if you're trying to put together teams that have a robust chance or any chance to win the national championship, you don't invite Alabama or Texas A&M either. Did you watch that crap? I think you got 3 teams in this thing that can win it. Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia. Other than that, Alabama's got no chance whatsoever to beat Indiana. I hate to say it because Cignetti does not like that kind of commentary, but they have no chance. If Indiana shows up at the Rose Bowl, Alabama has no chance. Zero. None. DK punched a fan. You never punch a fan. Although I will say this, fans, they gotta respect boundaries and understand that, you know what, there can be an interaction. If you aggressively approach an athlete and get in his grill and say something ridiculous, getting hit might not be the worst thing that ever happened. and understanding that that can happen because it did happen. I'm not saying it's right. You shouldn't hit anybody ever. But maybe DK Metcalf and what he did is going to prompt fans to not interact with quite as much aggression. All right? I don't know what happened, obviously, but take, for instance, the brawl in the Malice at the Palace. I think that did much more than security around arenas, around the court, did to quell like nutty, drunk-ass fans from interacting with athletes. Hey, you mean they could come up here and start swinging at us? Oh, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. That is a really good thing. That's a positive. Joshua says Mike Vrabel's a good coach. Our coaching staff is not, and they have a stable quarterback and an easy schedule. Well, Mike Vrabel is a good coach, and the Tennessee Titans were morons to fire him. That's the way it goes. They have a good organization, the Patriots do, and that's true. And who knew that Drake May this year was going to be what Drake May is? Nobody. Let's talk about the 49ers a little bit. 49ers, they've got some injuries. Ricky Pearsall, he's not going to play tonight. Renardo Green is not going to play. He's a starting cornerback. Curtis Rourke is out. He, a backup quarterback, out tonight. And Yetur Gross-Matos, he, backup defensive end, he's questionable. Could come off IR to play in the game tonight. Sauce Gardner, Anthony Gould, Bernard Ryman out for the Colts. They downgraded Ryman yesterday to out. Jaguars and the Texans, they won again yesterday. They're the two hottest teams in the NFL. The Texans have now won 7 straight. The Jags have won 6 straight. That's just absurd. They are 11-4 and 10-5 and show no signs of weakening, although we hope they weaken soon, because after tonight's game against the 49ers, the Colts have the Jaguars and the Texans left on their schedule, and they've got to win both of those games because the Jaguars and the Texans won yesterday. To get to the playoffs, they got a 3% chance, according to The Athletic, to get into the playoffs. They win tonight, it gets a little bit better. They win next Sunday, it gets a lot better. They win the following Sunday, it gets a lot better. If the Colts can win, they got to win out. You've got to take care of your business. Yesterday's games made that a reality. That would give, if the Colts could win 2 of the last 3, that would be the first time since 2007 that the AFC South will have had 3 double-digit winners. So Colts have that going for them, I guess. They could go 10-7 and miss the playoffs, and that, it's not a fait accompli that if they win out, they get to the playoffs. Colts over the last 10 years, by the way, have the best record in the AFC South. They have the most wins. They've won 80. Titans have 78, Texans 78, and Jaguars 62. All are under 500. All 4 under 500 in those 10 years. Colts need to throw effectively against the 49ers to get this thing done. Because the 49ers, what would you do? You don't need to be a genius to be Robert Saleh tonight, right? The defensive coordinator for the Niners. You got to put 8, 9 in the box. Everybody's got to be in the box. You got to stop Jonathan Taylor. You stop Jonathan Taylor, you make Phillip Rivers beat you, you got a pretty good chance to win, unless Rivers can really pull a rabbit out of his hat. We'll see if he can. Randy says, as a Colts fan, I'm starting to feel like a Cleveland Browns fan. I don't blame you. Although, my God, like we've never walked a mile in those shoes. We have no idea what it is to be a Browns fan. It's just, I watched that game yesterday, man. Shedeur Sanders, holy hell, make a winning play. What's the matter with you late in the game, for God's sake? Rivers, he's got to have a good game with his arm as well as between the ears. We know he's got the microprocessor up here that we feel really good about, but we have got to get good ball placement, dispersal from Phillip Rivers, or this thing's going to go south. One of the good things about this is that DeForest Buckner is back. That's going to help. You got Brock Purdy back there, not 6'5", right? DeForest Buckner in the middle of that defensive line is going to be a chicane around which Purdy needs to throw. I like the Colts tonight. The Colts, that 7-1 was not a mirage. That was real. They were a really good team with an offense that was absolutely functional as hell. And one of the best offenses through those 8 games that I've ever seen in the NFL, through an 8-game period. And you got to do it for 17 games. Back in the day, it was 16 games. You've got to find a way to move the football regularly, predictably, keep the defense off the field for a while, because you saw what happened to the defense last week, and what happened is they got tired. And you can't have a tired defense playing against an energized offense. Being at home is going to help. We'll see exactly how much. IU with the final cupcake tonight. It's like grade school when a kid was sick. And the mom, you had 24 in your class, the mom brought 24 cupcakes. But there are only 23 of you. So somebody gets the last cupcake. And you had a contest to figure out who is going to get that last cupcake. And I wanted that last cupcake. So if we played eraser tag, it was on. That's what tonight is for the Indiana Hoosiers as they take on Sienna. After that, it's all Big Ten play for the next couple of months. They get almost 2 weeks off. They'll play on January 4th again. We'll have the Rose Bowl before Indiana plays another basketball game after tonight's game against Sienna. You can't play like you did Saturday against Chicago State, and you might get beat tonight if you play like that. You cannot go 15 of 46 shooting threes. If you're going to hang your hat on shooting threes, you got to make some threes. Hitting 32% is not going to get it done. This is a funky, you know what? This is a funky year so far for Indiana. They got to build with high school guys. Trent Sisley, I love. You got to get more guys like that. You got to build this program the right way. I know that with 13 guys on scholarship, all of them taking a powder when Mike Woodson got fired, you got to find a way to cobble together a team that can represent Indiana with pride and class. And I think Darren DeVries has done that. It's going to be tough for them to win. I think it's 10-10 in the Big Ten, I think would be a hell of a thing for this group of guys who've yet to really knit and learn how to function well together. Curt Cignetti, talking about functioning, he is functioning at the highest level possible. He's the first coach ever to be the AP Coach of the Year in consecutive seasons. That's unbelievable. How lucky is Indiana? Like, I don't want to crap on Scott Dolson, and I'm not. But how lucky was he to land this guy? Have everybody else not want him. Scott Dolson did want him, brought him in, and had him perform at the level he's performed. It's unbelievable what Indiana football has been able to do. This it hadn't even been 2 years. It's last season ended by this time, but it's been around 2 years, and he's won the AP Coach of the Year award in both at Indiana. Unbelievable. IU Alabama in 10 days. If you're going to Pasadena once in a lifetime, I don't think so. I think the Hoosiers are going to be back there. A&M was not good. A&M Alabama was a terrible football game. Who are you going to take, Simpson or Mendoza? I don't need to wait for your answer, for God's sake. IU has learned how to finish tight games, not at Memorial Stadium. They did it against Iowa, did it against Oregon, did it against Penn State. They're going to do it again in the Rose Bowl. If this game is close, the Hoosiers are 7-point favorites. Man, I don't see this thing being 7. I see this thing being more than that. I think Indiana is significantly better than Alabama is, even without Stephen Daly. Celtics and Pacers tonight, as the Pacers continue this lost season. What are we going to do? Do we continue to watch? Do we continue to root for wins? They're 6-22. They ain't coming back from this to go to the playoffs. Joseph Clearwater says this year to win, beat Alabama. Will they play on? They're going to play on, and they're going to beat Alabama. Tammy Reddicks, happy birthday. Dennis Douglas, Kelly Schreiber, Mike Campbell, Jennifer Estlin. One of the finest improvisers in the history of Chicago comedy, celebrating a birthday today. Ron Rutland, happy birthday, Barry Kent. Graham K. I was intensely jealous, and I never got to work with Jennifer Estlin. She was really, really good. John Shambi, happy birthday. Greg Jarrett, Sam Weaver, Joy Hafner, Denny Oxley, happy birthday, and Jared Roberts. Happy birthday. If today's your birthday, you celebrate like hell. If it's not your birthday, you celebrate somebody else. That's best done with an honest and specific compliment. Lift each other up. Don't pull each other down. Be good to each other. We got a lot of strain in our lives this week, people. For people who like routine, the routine is busted all to hell. That's the way it is. Midweek Christmas, it's a nightmare for some people. Not for you. Have a great day. Have a great week. Enjoy yourself. We'll give away the Saturday jersey this afternoon. The prize wheel is going on the road. It is right here. It is never far from me. Here's the prize wheel. We will have that on the road with us. We will spin it, and we will give away a Jeff Saturday autographed jersey. How about that?